side, nigga. This one is ain't no me. Whiskey on my breath, going through it right now. I remember what she said, got me contemplating my head. Got 100 thoughts in my head. Yeah, I'm paranoid with my flesh. Thinking right now, I'm fighting right now. I'm just getting tough. And riding in the C10 Chevy, deep in my thoughts, yeah, heavy. And now path gotta stay steady. So many things around me trying to break me down. She don't understand the shit she said. Hit me to the core, broke me down. Don't feel like a man no more. Inside, yeah, I'm broken now. I'm broken. I'm broken. I'm broken, yeah, and nobody on my side. You cut me to the core. Yeah, I fucked up when I gave information. Should've known you used it against me, and yeah, you wanted to hurt me. And job well done. I was nonchalant, yeah, about it, and ever since that day, I became a different man. I was broken. I was broken, yeah. Oh, yeah. I was broken. Whiskey on my breath, going through it right now. I remember what she said, got me contemplating my head. Got 100 thoughts in my head. Yeah, I'm paranoid with my flesh. Thinking right now, I used to be in my head, but not no more. I don't mind the music in your head. Couldn't sleep in my bed, toss and turning in the bed. Oh no, they can't get me right now. No. I had a hold of me and you were worked out. I'm broken. I'm broken. I'm broken. They crushed me to the core, ain't nobody on my side. I shouldn't have gave you information. I should've known you used it against me, and you were just trying to hurt me. Your job well done. I'm broken. I'm broken. I'm broken. Whiskey on my brain, ain't going through it right now. I remember what she said, got me contemplating my head. Got 100 thoughts in my head. Yeah, I'm paranoid with my flesh.
All right, clap it up. Shalom, Israel, with Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under the Commanding General Yohana. This is ISUPK Austin Tuesday Brotherhood class. Brotherhood and sisterhood is a weapon. It's going to take brotherhood, and it's going to take sisterhood, because we're going to need to lean on one another. All right? We already are in such horrible conditions, right? We're in these horrible conditions that we live in every day, living under our oppressor, our enemy who has a disdain for us, okay? That's who we want to give our love to. We want to give our love to the same one who doesn't have any love for us at all, okay? And when you reserve your love for these other nations, when you reserve your love for your enemy, then you're not going to have any love left for your brother, any love left for your sister. And that is important. That's why it's important to teach brotherhood and sisterhood to a nation that doesn't have any, okay? So tonight we're going to be talking about the reenactment of George Floyd's Unaliving. Now, At this school, there is a substitute teacher who is a police as well. Okay. He decided it would be a good idea in his fourth period English class at the high school to reenact the George Floyd murders. Okay. This is what we have to understand. We have to understand that we have an enemy who absolutely hates us. But there's nothing more. There's no other way to put it. There's no other way to put it except that our enemy, he just cannot stand us. Okay. While we give all his love to him, he decides that it's a good idea to reenact the George Floyd unaliving in his fourth period class. Okay. All right. This is why so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, this is why we need to come together. Okay. We need to come together. We need to be a nation because we don't have any protection. Our protection is supposed to come for our leaders, but our leaders are in bed with our enemies. Okay. Our leaders, they make a dividend off of us by selling us to the oppressor. Bear with me 1 second. Slovakia. Okay. So we need to gather together. We need to be a nation because these other nations hate us. Slovakia, you went to class, sir? All right, Most High in Christ. All right. So we have to come together because the things that happen to us, they don't happen to any other nation. The things that our oppressor does to us, they don't do it to everybody. They do it to the children of the slaves. They do it to the Lord's chosen people. They do it to the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, that's what we have to gather together. When y'all get a chance, somebody give me Zephaniah 2:1, because we have to gather together because we are that nation that the Bible talks about that is not desired. And since we're not desired, we are able to be made a mockery of. We're able to be degraded. We're able to be stepped on and treated like garbage. When the Lord said we are a special people. Okay? You can read it when you got it.
The book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Gather yourselves together. Yeah, gather together, O nation not desired.
So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you are that nation not desired. You are the nation that needs to gather together. Okay? You need to gather together because that's our strength. Following these laws, statutes, and commandments and being a nation, that is our strength. Without that, we don't have any power. We don't have any strength. We don't have the Lord on our side. And when we don't have the Lord on our side, you see what we become. We become a mockery of the earth, okay? We become a disgraceful people because our how do I want to say that? Because without the Lord, that's what we are. We're just disgraceful. We're not following any law. We are following our oppressors. There's some more on that or no? All right, Most High in Christ. All right. First thing, I think I want to get into the video. First, I'll get a couple scriptures. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28 and 33.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, 28, verse 33.
Uh-huh.
The fruit of thy land in all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not be of.
You see, the fruit of our land, you know, the fruit of our labors, you put in that hard work. You built a community, all right? You are, let's put it this way. Our native brothers and sisters was called savages. They built their communities up to sustain the earth. to not take away from the earth, to not take away from what the Most High given, but they were called savages. And you know what happened? The oppressor came through and ravished America. They unalived all the buffaloes. All the buffaloes, all right, all of our people, they destroy us. Okay, continue reading. Oh, hold on. A nation which thou knowest not shall eat up. That's what our oppressor did when they come to us. When they come to us, all our fruits and labors, they eat it up. They reap the benefits. Continue.
And thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed away.
And thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed away. That's how this oppressor in his fourth period English class can reenact the George Floyd unaliving. Drop down to 43.
Come on, God. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low.
You see that stranger? He came up very high. Okay? He came up very high, and we went down very low. When they're next to us, they put themselves high, and we're very low. And you know how we know that? Because they're able to reenact the George Floyd unaliving in a classroom. In a classroom in the high school. Could you imagine going into high school and your teacher just decides that he is going to twist your arm, throw you down, put his knee on your neck, and show you what happened to George Floyd? This is the disgusting things that happened to our nation. Continue reading.
Come on, God, verse 44. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not.
He shall what?
He shall lend to thee.
He lends to you everything. He gives you student loans. He gives you house loans. He gives you car loans. He gives you payday loans. He doesn't want to give you what loan? What loan do you think your oppressor doesn't want you to have? You can get all kind of loans, but which one doesn't he want you to have? No, not a reparations. Just think of all the loans that's out there. You got student loans. You can get that. You got a car loan. You can get that. You got a house loan. You can get that easy. You can get a payday loan. What's that one loan that they don't want you to have?
Freedom.
No, it's an actual loan out there. It's an actual loan. Give Maya a call a hand. Business loans. Put that on the screen. They don't want to give you no business loan so you can grow, so you can leave something to your family. Continue reading.
God, and they shall not lend to him, but he shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail.
You see, they are leading us through this world, and everything they say, what do? We follow. We say yes, right? Living an alternative lifestyle. That wasn't cool back in the day.
Right.
But the oppressor says it's cool now, so what do we say? We say it's cool. They say that pork is the other white meat. It's the other chicken. It's the other white meat. So we say it's cool to eat, right? They say shrimp, crab, and lobster is a delicacy. Okay? So we follow that. We follow their culture. We follow their customs. 7:10. Okay? Continue reading.
Come, verse 45.
Drop to 48.
Come, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. He shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
See, we are destroyed. We were destroyed in slavery from that yoke of iron, because we served our enemies in hunger and nakedness and in thirst. But today, that yoke of iron has become a spiritual yoke. And now, spiritually, we serve him still. Because you still, and physically, because what do you got to do? You got to go to him to get your food, your clothes, and your water. I don't own an HEB, do you? You got an HEB? Anybody in here got an HEB? Got a Walmart? No. We're going to him. Okay? Now I'm gonna show this video. Get that controller and turn the television on and put it to the YouTube, just so y'all can see these things too. I want y'all to have access. Because what happened, what this teacher did and this is a school in the suburbs. So this isn't just some all black school. But the person he decided to do what he did to, he decided to do it to us. Because we are the ones who can be made a mockery of. We are the ones who can be disgraced. And since we're the ones who can be disgraced, he felt comfortable and able to do this. Bear with me 1 second. I don't know what is what, so I'm putting both of these in. All right. I'm making me get up too much. There we go. All right, it's the wild now. All right. Let's continue on the scripture.
49, sir.
Yeah, we can read 49. I really want 50, but 49 is the wild.
Verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth.
You see, they came from far from the end of the earth. To oppress us, they'll come from far. They don't have no problem. They don't have any problem, okay, traveling, all right? I believe Christopher Columbus, you know, they all said it. Even if most of us was unalive, anyone they could bring back is a game, okay? Go ahead.
Go down from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation.
Hey, hold on. Read that part one more time.
From the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth.
From the end of the earth, as swift as that eagle flieth. Who is that eagle? That eagle is, that's those, Salakia. That's your oppressor, okay? That eagle flight, they all have that eagle to represent them. You know, Greece, Rome, Spain, Germany, those nations of that scarlet beast. When the Revelations talk about that scarlet beast, that's what it's talking about. Okay, continue reading.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
A nation whose tongue they shall not understand. We didn't understand them. You barely understand them now. Okay, you did not understand them. We couldn't understand their tongue. We didn't know their language. Continue reading.
No tongue. Verse 50. A nation of fierce countenance.
Of what?
A nation of fierce countenance.
A nation of fierce countenance. This nation is so fierce that they are willing to reenact a George Floyd unaliving, and I believe it was a 9th or 10th grade class in 4th period English. Read that part one more time.
A nation of fierce countenance.
A nation of fierce countenance. These people are fierce. You think they are your friends, but this nation, they are a fierce nation. And they don't give a damn about you. Continue reading.
Which shall not regard the person of the old.
Oh, they should not regard the person of the old. When Dylan Roof went in that church, he didn't regard the person of the old. When that person drove 400 miles to make sure they were in a Mexican HEB, okay, and they unalive all them old people, they didn't regard the old. This nation of fierce countenance, your oppressor, your enemy, the devil the Bible speaks of, he doesn't regard the person of old, and he doesn't care how that you're an old man. He doesn't care that that's your grandmother. That your grandmother worked for him her whole damn life scrubbing his floors. He doesn't care. Okay? Continue reading.
Come. Nor shew favor to the young.
Emmett Till.
To the young.
Trayvon, what was his name? Trayvon Martin.
Nor shew favor to the young.
And they didn't show favor to this young boy who went to school that day and didn't expect to be made a spectacle by being a part of the demonstration of the unaliving of George Floyd. They don't show no favor to the old nor young. I seen this thing where they asked the Edomite lady, they said, when does that young black boy become a scary black man? Can anybody guess the age that she said? 12 years old. 12. At 12, they're scared of you. How do you have a chance? You should never love thy enemy. Okay? I'm gonna get this real quick. Y'all got a way y'all can hear this or anything? Can y'all hear this off of here? Y'all let me know. If not, we might need to grab that speaker up out the closet. Yeah, but it's going. Yeah, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to mess up nothing.
Cop teacher reenacts the murder of George Floyd. I'll put it up full mass. Here we go. A Wisconsin police officer working as a substitute English in Minnesota has reportedly been placed on administrative leave
make sure y'all can.
by his department and barred from school grounds after the principal said he, quote, reenacted the prone restraint that resulted in the murder of George Floyd by placing his knee.
Look at this. This is what this teacher did. This is the reenactment. Okay? Look at George Floyd. Look at this kid. Look at this teacher. This is horrible and disgusting. Let me let the video play, but I gotta send
on the neck of a student in class. The incident took place Monday at Woodbury High School in front of sophomores and seniors. Woodbury is a suburb of St. Paul, not too far from Minneapolis, the city that employed Derek Chauvin as a police officer before he was arrested and convicted of murdering Floyd. Just look at that. This is what the school teacher thought was a good idea. He's a cop posing as a substitute teacher, obviously. English. What does this have to do with English? Not a damn thing. WCCO and the Associated Press both reported that the teacher was identified as Stephen Williams, a member of the Prescott Police Department in Wisconsin, who had been hired as a substitute teacher in Minnesota through the staffing agency Teachers on Call. According to the reports, Teachers on Call, they have now cut ties with Stephen Williams. The school district has banned him from its grounds. He basically has a no trespass mandate. And school officials reported him to his own police department and the Minnesota Department of Education to make sure he never steps foot back in the classroom. During class time, some of the things students reported were that the substitute teacher, and we got to put this in bullet point formation. One, put a student on the ground in front of the class as part of a reenactment of the police actions that resulted in the murder of George Floyd. He also twisted a student's arm behind the student's back and showed pressure points on the chin and the face. Now, he's the English substitute teacher, okay? 3, spoke about a bar fight and fake punched the student with his fist really close to the student's face. Invaded student's space and mimic holding the gun and pointing it at student.
You can't tell me this ain't no devil. Hold on. I gotta rewind that a little bit. We gotta hear that again.
With his fist really close to the student's face.
So he's fake punching with his fist really close to the student's face. Imagine you're just going to school. All you're doing was trying to go to school. And this is what you got to deal with. Isaiah, see if you can pull up that article, okay? So he put a student on the ground in front of the class as part of the reenactment of the police actions resulting in the unaliving of George Floyd. He also twisted a student's arm behind his back and showed pressure points on the chin and face. Spoke about a bar fight and fake punched a student with his fist really close to the student's face. Invaded student's face and mimicked holding a gun and pointed at the students. Repeatedly made racially harmful comments. Yeah, this teacher, he would have had a lot to deal with. This was my son, Most High in Christ. He would have had to deal with a couple things. All right, let's get back to this video. Let me play this.
Invaded students' space and mimic holding a gun and pointing it at students. Repeatedly made racially harmful comments. That's according to the principal. It continues, told sexist jokes, spoke in disturbing detail about dead bodies he had seen, and shared explicit details about 2 sexual assault cases he investigated. Shared specific names of people he arrested. Stated that, quote, cops would be the best criminals, and that, quote, they know how to get away with stuff. Stating that he once got a nail on the paper about how to get away with murder. Spoke at length about his gun collection. Stated that police brutality is not real. Basically, the stuff he says at the precinct. Okay? He was saying the stuff he says at the precinct. That's all. And he received a cultural awakening because he was now uttering the same thing he would say around his normative culture at the precinct, around a new culture being a high school. And that high school said, this culture is different than yours. We're not like you. You see, here's the beautiful thing. Here's the most beautiful thing.
I'm going to stop that because we're going to get to the article. We're going to read all of that. Okay? Let me go over here. Let me share this screen. Somebody hold Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10. Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10. We could start on that. We could start with the article.
I'm gone. Parents in a Minnesota school district are calling for accountability from a now banned substitute teacher who was accused of inappropriate and racially harmful behavior that included a reenactment of George Floyd's murder.
You see, this is how your oppressor feels about you. They feel that it's okay to reenact something that was a great tragedy in the so-called in our community. In our community, people went and protested all over, right? People were in outrage all over. And he decided that there was nothing wrong with this. Continue reading.
Come on with God. That included a reenactment of George Floyd's murder during a high school English class earlier this week. Wisconsin police officer Stephen DeWayne Williams, who served as a substitute.
Read that part one more time. A Wisconsin what?
A Wisconsin police officer.
A Wisconsin police officer. That's what he is. He is a police officer who is playing substitute. So in his mind, he's justified because he's doing a police thing. You see, when they do tragic things to you, they don't believe that it's wrong. They believe you deserve it. They believe you are supposed to be treated like garbage, like scum. All right, continue reading.
Wisconsin police officer Stephen DeWayne Williams, who served as a substitute teacher.
It didn't say part-time police officer and full-time teacher, right? He's a police officer. That's his job. Who serves as a substitute teacher. Continue.
Honorable John, who served as a substitute teacher at Woodbury High School in Washington County, Minnesota. On Monday is seen in a photo obtained by CNN performing the prone restraint on a student in the 4th period English class. Sean, communications director for South Washington County Schools, told CNN on Wednesday he had put a student on the ground in front of the class as part of a reenactment of the police actions that resulted in a murder of George Floyd. The school said in a letter to students, families, and staff Tuesday acknowledging the racial harm done.
Stop right there. Give me what I asked for.
This is the book of Reenacted, chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy.
Do what?
Never trust thine enemy.
Sometimes.
Never trust thine enemy.
But he's my best friend.
Never trust thine enemy.
But we both love the Cowboys.
Never trust thine enemy.
But he's my teacher.
Never trust thine enemy.
But he's the police. He's here to serve and protect me.
Never trust thine enemy.
Never trust thine enemies is what the Bible's telling you. If you a so-called Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, God is telling you to never trust your enemies. Continue reading.
But like an iron rusted, so is his wickedness.
Like that iron rust, so is his wickedness. If you take a piece of metal and there gets a little dot of rust, it will rust until it compromises the whole piece of metal. That's how our enemy is. That's how our oppressor is. He is rust to us. He is going to degrade us. You know what I mean? He is going to make our value lesser and lower. Continue reading.
Verse 11. Those he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him.
It said, though he's going to be humble, he might come humble, he might come crouching, but you better beware of him. Beware of his agendas. Be aware of how he looks at you. See, that's what we got to understand. We got to understand how we are looked at. All right? We are looked at by our enemy in a horrible way, in a horrible light. They think we are all criminals. They look at our rappers and they think all our women are like them, or like Sexy Red, or like Cardi B, or like Megan Thee Stallion, or like Little Kim. They think all our rappers, or who y'all listen to, Lil Boat. I think that's one of them. The Three Amigos. Well, they two amigos now. Yeah, NBA Youngboy, who's about to go do all of his life, getting caught with guns and drugs. Okay. They look at us like we are them. All those Chiracians. Oh, Chirac. Oh, they put a nickname on them. It's so horrible out there. Not knowing that they're dropping off bags of Uzis in the hood. Do any of y'all know? I can give y'all all the metal in the world. None of us are machinists. None of us is making a gun. All right? They are dropping these this artillery off in our ghettos. So they might come humble. You know, they're coming humble. Kamala Harris, she's coming real humble. She's telling us to overlook how she treated us. Why? So we can get treated like that again? How much worse will it be as with her as a president? If she did all that stuff as a district attorney to us, how would it be better? All the stuff she did to the Latino community, she's asking them to overlook it. Okay? Continue reading.
Come, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his brush has not been altogether wiped away.
You know when that glass fog up and you wipe it and you can see through? That's why you need the truth. That's what the truth does to your oppressor. The truth will help you just wipe that glass and you look through like, oh, it was fuzzy, but now I see clear. Now I clearly see that this is a wicked man. This is a wicked nation who has no regard, who has no regard for the old or the young in our community. Continue reading. And if you decide to just continue reading.
Verse 12. Set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place.
You see, we try to be nice to them. We try to put them side by side, and God loves everybody and everybody's equal. But when he stands by you, when he overthrows you, he's going to stand up in your place. That's what he's doing right now. That's why he's ruling the earth. You should be ruling the earth. But he is ruling the earth because he stood up in your place. Continue reading.
Come out of the sun. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my word.
Do what?
Thou at the last remember my word.
It didn't say remember Christianity. It said remember my words. And the Lord's words are never trust thy enemy. Continue reading.
Come and be pricked therewith.
Continue.
Verse 13. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent?
Who will pity a charmer that is bitten by a serpent? They be over there doing what? They be playing those little flutes. Tempting the cobra. Charming the cobras, right? Now, if a cobra go ahead and strike you, all that venom, you're going to be unalive. Who's going to pity you? We're going to say, oh, you shouldn't have been playing over there. You thought you was just going to play this music and you didn't know the right keys and you got bit, okay? Who is going to pity you? Nobody pities that charmer. You don't say, oh, that's sad. You're out there wrestling gators and you get eaten up. All right? Continue reading. Let me get to that.
Come out of a con, or any such as come not wild beast.
You think you're going to go pet a lion because you watch Lion King and you love Simba. You love Simba. You watch Lion King your whole childhood. You watched it 90 million times. So when you go to the zoo, you think that's Simba. And you're just I'm just gonna touch his mane. And he's gonna snatch your arm off. Because that's not Simba. That is Himba. Okay? He ain't playing. Him, he don't play. Okay? We'll say, what was you doing trying to pet a lion? You're gonna go run with the bulls in Spain. You're gonna go run with a bull. And then we watch you on a YouTube clip get tossed up. Horn up your buttocks. Whole horn up your rectum. And you flying. We don't say, oh, I feel sorry for him. We say, yeah. That's what he get, right? That's what his A gets. Because you shouldn't have been out there doing it. There's things you don't play with. You don't play with wild beasts. Okay? That's how the Lord equates your oppressor. Your Lord equates that oppressor, equates him to the same as a serpent and a wild beast. Okay? Go ahead.
Like I said, on verse at the beginning, it says, set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee.
Uh-huh.
How I break that down again?
All right, we'll go back to it. What is that, 12?
No,
Go ahead and read it.
Set him not by thee.
Set him not by thee.
Okay, don't set him next to you.
Don't set him next to you. Yes. Don't befriend him. Because, continue.
Lest when he had overthrown thee.
Lest when he has overthrown you. When he rises above you. This is your friend. We're going to go get this job together. You're up for the promotion, but you got him set by thee. He's going to creep in there. He's gonna overthrow thee. Continue.
He stand up in thy place.
He stands up in thy place. Today, we are overthrown by him. Today, he stands up in our place because what is he doing? No, yeah, but what is he doing in the world? What is he to this whole world? What should we be doing for the earth right now? Ruling. He is ruling the earth. So he stood up in our place. Continue.
Neither let him sit at thy right hand.
Neither let him sit by that right hand. Continue.
Lest he seek to take thy seat.
Because he's going to want to be above you. That's what this is. This is what this is breaking down. That anytime you try to be friends with your oppressor, he wants to be above you. Have y'all ever had an Edomite friend? Have you seen how they kind of carry themselves? And like, especially when you're very young, they know that they're way above you. And they treat you like that. So we never set them to that side. At least they overtake us, and at least they want to take our seat. Continue.
And thou at last remember my words. Pricked therewith.
And then you remember these words as you're pricked with them. Therewith. That help you? All right, Most High in Christ. All right, let's drop that. Let's get back to the article. Stop sharing this screen and let me get. All right, now you can read that George Floyd, old Zechariah 11:5. I believe it's that. You can start right there from where it's talking about George Floyd.
Floyd, a 46-year-old black man, died while being arrested on May 25th, 2020, after Derek Tobin, a white police officer, was filmed kneeling on Floyd's neck and back for nearly 9 minutes as Floyd pleaded for help and said he couldn't breathe. Tobin was convicted of murder and manslaughter in a state trial in 2021 and sentenced to more than 22 years in prison. He later pleaded guilty in federal court of depriving Floyd of his civil rights.
And hold on, Sister Maya call. He's not an ex-cop. He was a cop who was also a substitute teacher. He wasn't an ex-cop. He was the actual police. All right, continue reading.
Floyd's killing sparked a wave of protests around the world, along with a spate of legislative measures intended to address police brutality and racial bias. Police, quote unquote, police brutality isn't real.
Police what?
Police brutality isn't real.
Hold where you at. Give me Zechariah 11:5 real quick.
This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 11, verse 5. Whose possessors slay them.
Whose what?
Whose possessors slay them.
Whose possessors slay them. Our possessors, the people who are ruling this earth, they slay us. That's what they are doing. They are slaying us. Continue reading.
Will come and hold themselves not guilty.
No, they hold themselves guilty.
Hold themselves not guilty.
We get justice.
Hold themselves not guilty.
Our possessors slay us, and they hold themselves not guilty. And you want to be their friend. That's why they say you should never trust thy enemy. Should never trust thy enemy, because your enemy will have you on your stomach, arm twisted, knee in your neck in fourth period English, reenacting the George Floyd unaliving. All right. Is there any more in that scripture?
No, I will come.
Go ahead.
And they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich.
And them who have that power over you, they say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich. They think they are blessed because they have the children of the slaves. They have the children of God under their hand, under their foot. So they believe that they are the children of God. They believe they are blessed. They believe in Caesar Borgia. Well, we believe in a black man named who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, right, whose name is Yahweh Shai Mashiach. So like it, sir, when I came in, that was on the ground. I picked it up. All right, let's get back to that article.
Quote unquote, police brutality isn't real. Williams allegedly told students, according to the school's letter sent to parents. He also reportedly told students that Cops would be the best criminals.
All right, stop right there. He says police brutality isn't real, but he also says that cops would be the best criminals. How does he know that? Because he's a cop and because he's a criminal. These cops are criminals. That's why the Bible says to never trust thine enemy. And we want to give all our love and all our trust and all our care to our enemy. Oh yeah, it gets deep. I know you're reading ahead. Continue reading.
That cops will be the best criminals and that they know how to get away with stuff.
And they know how to what?
And that they know how to get away with stuff.
I seen a video earlier where the police, he tried to plant a pistol on a brother. Okay, and this brother, he was, he does do stuff. He has a little lengthy criminal record, but he didn't have a weapon. And the police department, somebody seen that and contacted the judge and told him to make sure that he views the body cam. And when he turned on that body cam, you see him walking with a white tissue with the gun, and he put it in the car. Okay, they are the best criminals. Yep. And you know why most cops keep that? That's an old thing. I don't know if you young brothers know that, but that's an old thing that police keep that in case they have to shoot you. They can throw that weapon on you and say, look, he had a weapon. Yep. That's why I had to shoot him. But now in the age of body cam and cameras everywhere, it's just a little bit harder, but they're still successful. That's what they do. They're going to do that. That's their MO, because they don't care about you. Somebody give me perpetual hatred too. All right, continue reading.
That cops will be the best criminals and that they know how to get away with stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Adding that he once got an A on that paper.
He got a what?
He got an A on a paper.
He got a perfect score on what?
On a paper about how to get away with murder, according to the letter.
So he got a paper on how to get away with that. It was a perfect grade. This is a man who decides to take, like I told you, this school is in the suburbs. But who did he decide to grab? He decided to grab a young brother and twist his arm, put him on the ground, and put his knee on his neck and reenact the George Floyd unaliving in fourth period English. What does English have to do with George Floyd, with the reenactment of that? Like, how is it just not because they have a perpetual hatred for you? There's no other answer. I can't think of nothing. I can't think of any reason. Yep, that's it. But we'll wait. Continue reading.
In a Monday letter addressed to families at Woodboro High School, Principal Sarah called the incident a racially harmful situation and said the school immediately removed the teacher from the classroom and walked him out of the school after receiving several complaints from students.
Mm-hmm.
We are continuing to investigate the incident, but I want to assure you the substitute teacher will not be back at Woodboro High School again, the letter said.
Continue.
The Woodboro Police Department is investigating the incident, and Williams is no longer allowed to enter any district property according to the high school.
Mm-hmm.
We are disturbed by the preliminary information of what occurred, Woodbury Public Safety Director Jason told CNN on Thursday. The safety of the students, teachers, staff, and our community is our top priority. We will investigate this incident to the fullest extent while showing compassion to the students impacted.
And I don't really know what they need to investigate. A student snapped the picture, showed parents, and they sent that to the principal. There's nothing to investigate. We have the picture. Here, let me scroll back up. This is the picture right here. Do y'all see this? This is a young brother. This is a young black boy, 9th or 10th grade, Fourth period English. He ain't even, maybe he probably halfway through the day. This is what he's dealing with. With this devil on him, reenacting the George Floyd murder. Look at his knee on his neck. That's what happened to George Floyd. This right here claimed a life of the children of the slaves. Claimed the life of one of the people of God. This action right here. And he thought this would be a good idea to perform in fourth period English. This is what your oppressor thinks of you. And you want to give him your love. You want to give him your loyalty. You want to give him your trust. The Bible says you should never trust thine enemy. This is why. Because you can't even go to school. You can't even go to school safely. There is nothing you could do safely because your oppressor has a perpetual hatred for you. Where are we at? Go ahead and read. You. I'm going to get the perpetual hatred after they talk about some of this perpetual hatred that they're going to come up here in this article.
On one time, Williams has been reported to the Minnesota Department of Education and the Minnesota Professional Educator Licensing and Standards Board. The school said schools should be places where students feel safe to learn and grow. And
they said what?
Schools should be a place where students feel safe to learn and grow.
They should be. They should be a safe place, but they're not a safe place. For so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the school isn't a safe place. All right? Especially when you have to go to school in the suburbs. You think it's safe. Right, Officer Naquan, you think my kid, well, he's not going to school in the ghetto. He should be safe over here in the suburbs. This is a nice community. They got grass. They got trees. Okay? They don't have metal detectors in this school. But he goes and he's subjugated to this police who's playing substitute teacher, reenacting the George Floyd unaliving on him. Continue reading.
Come on one time. Anna Kerr, a spokesperson for the Minnesota Department of Education, told CNN Thursday, MDE is aware of the situation and has been in contact with South Washington County schools to offer resources to students, families, and staff. Teachers on call, the staffing agency that placed Williams at the school is deeply concerned about the reported misconduct of a former employee on assignment. It is cooperating with the district and law enforcement in their investigation, according to a Thursday statement. We recognize the significant public trust placed in us to ensure our substitute educators maintain a safe learning environment, the statement said. We have a zero tolerance policy for any form of violent, aggressive, or harmful behavior. Williams
hold on. It says we recognize the significant public trust placed in us to ensure that our substitute educators maintain a safe learning environment, right? The statement said, we have a zero tolerance policy for any form of violence, aggressive, or harmful behavior. Continue reading.
Got on one time. Williams is no longer an employee of the organization, the statement said.
All right, so it said that they have this zero tolerance and all this. But he was able to pass through, go ahead and continue reading. He was able to pass through this.
Substitute educators undergo a rigorous screening process that is fully compliant with Minnesota Department of Education.
You see that the substitute educators that undergo that rigorous screening? Those are the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian substitutes. That's who goes through the rigorous. That's who they're going to pull up all your background. They're going to pull up everything on you. They're going to pull up that weed charge from when you were 14 years old and you're 50, just trying to substitute. That's who goes through the rigorousness. Your oppressor doesn't go through anything rigorous. Continue reading.
That is fully compliant with Minnesota Department of Education standards and includes screenings that go beyond state requirements. Teachers on call said, The substitute educator involved in the reported misconduct passed all required background screens before being placed on assignment.
So they looking deeper than the state looks. And this devil still passed. Continue reading.
The Prescott, Wisconsin Police Department, where Williams had been employed for 2 years and worked as a patrol officer, placed him on administrative leave while the incident is investigated.
And see, Maya Cole, that's why I'm telling you, he wasn't no ex-police, or else he wouldn't have had to be placed on administrative leave. All right? He ain't placed on no administrative leave. That boy was the police. Continue reading.
On administrative leave while the incident is investigated, according to a press release posted by the department. The department said Williams was off duty and not serving in an official capacity when the Minnesota incident occurred. The city of Prescott and the Prescott Police Department find the current allegations, if true, made against Mr. Williams to be very disturbing and reprehensible. And we in no way condone his actions, reads the release.
All right, hold on. They keep saying this if. You have the photo with his knee on the neck.
Right.
You have testimony. That's enough. That's enough for you to be put on, to get capital punishment. That's enough. A picture of you committing the crime and a witness. But for this police officer, that's not enough yet. They have to do further investigations. Maybe they have to check the credibility of whoever took the picture. Maybe the person who took the picture just isn't credible enough. All right? Maybe that young boy who had a grown man's knee on his neck as a demonstration of the George Floyd Unaliving in fourth period English, maybe we have to check his credibility. Maybe he's not credible enough. Continue reading.
Jackie, whose son is a senior at the school, told CNN affiliate WCCO, I want to have strict assurances that this person is never going to be teaching my kids again.
Continue reading.
Along with reenacting.
Hold on, read that.
Students report inappropriate and racially harmful behavior.
They do what?
Students report inappropriate and racially harmful behavior.
This man, see, this is what's so disgusting about America. This man took on the role as an educator. And taking on this role as an educator, he chose to abuse these children with inappropriate and racially harmful behavior. Right. Now continue reading.
Along with reenacting Floyd's murder, students reported a slew of other actions the substitute teacher had taken that day. They were unprovoked.
This is all in one day. You know, substitutes, sometimes you only got one day. He said, I got one day and they gonna pay. Continue reading.
Reported a slew of other actions.
A slew. When the devil says slew, take heed. That means something. It means a lot. Well, he did a slew of things. That means he did a lot of things. Continue reading.
A slew of other actions that the substitute teacher had taken that day that were unprovoked by anyone. Students reported that he had twisted a student's arm behind their back.
He twisted a student's arm behind their back. How the hell is that legal? Continue.
They punched a student with his fist close to their face and mimicked holding up a gun and pointing it at the students.
So he faked punching with it close to your face. Hey, right there. Bah, bah, bah. And holding the gun at a student. I mean, come on. I mean, imagine you drop your kid off at school and you pick your kid up and this is what you hear. This is how our enemy treats us. This is how they look at us. Continue reading.
Williams has also made racially harmful comments.
So racially harmful comments. So he could have been saying a slew of things. Let's see what he's saying, right? He could have been saying a slew of things to children. He's saying these things to children. We have to understand that the people he was talking to are kids. Continue reading.
Told sexist jokes.
Told what?
Sexist jokes.
He told sexist jokes. Okay, continue reading.
Share details about dead bodies in sexual assault cases.
You see that? So he is talking about these things in detail, proudly, to children. Continue reading.
Shared names of people he had arrested.
Shared what?
Names of people that he had arrested.
So he's telling you, he's sharing everything, names and what else?
And spoke extensively about his gun collection
to students. Hold on, let me stop this. Let me get it. It's 35 and 5. Your oppressor cannot stand you. And they show us every day, all over the earth, that they can't stand us, that they have a complete disdain for us, that they have a perpetual hatred. This is disgusting. If you don't read this article and your heart don't bleed, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how many times, like, how do you think we could have classes? We could have classes because there's going to be about 100 articles a week that we could talk about just so easily of things that happen to our people. Go ahead and read that. Ezekiel.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred.
For thou hast had a what?
A perpetual hatred.
Somebody give me the definition of perpetual. Go ahead. Yep, you read it from the top.
Verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred.
Our enemy, they have a perpetual hatred for us. You think they're your friend. You think they have love, but there will come a time where you will be shown that this nation has a perpetual hatred for you. This people has a perpetual hatred for you. If you're a Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, know that these other nations, they have a perpetual hatred. And that's why they show you. They show you all the time. You just have to see it. You don't believe it. You don't believe it because of Christianity. Because God loves everybody. Because you could just pull yourself up by your bootstrap. Well, you can't. Go ahead and continue reading.
And has shed the blood of the children of Israel.
And they have did what?
Shed the blood of the children of Israel.
That's what they do to us. They just shed the blood of the children of Israel. They have no care, no regard, no disdain for you. And that's why you're treated like a piece of garbage. And that's why in fourth period English class, you could get sat down with your arm twisted, with a knee on your neck, right? A knee on your neck, because he wanted to reenact the George Floyd Unaliving. Like, that's hard for me to get past. I would have just been better off if you just did it. But the level of hatred it's out of this world. Go ahead and give me what I asked for. Or no, go ahead, finish out the scripture.
And has shed the blood of the children of Israel by force.
By what?
Has shed the blood of has shed the blood of the children of Israel by force.
They did that by force. They did that by force when they came over here. When the Spaniards came over here and destroyed our native brothers and sisters, right? They did that with us when they put us on ships again, to take us into Egypt again, right? Continue reading.
Come out of Wakan by the voice of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end.
All right, now give me perpetual.
Definition of perpetual: never ending.
What is it?
Never ending or changing.
That's what your oppressors have. The Bible just said, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred. And what did the definition of that say?
Never ending or changing.
How do we know that? How do we know that? Because every day they show us. They show us that it's perpetual because it's never ending. Could have ended a long time ago. But it is never ending. It is never changing until Christ comes back. That's when it's going to change. That's when the changing of the guard is going to happen. And then they won't have that power to destroy you no more. They won't have that power to hurt you and harm you anymore. Okay? Let's drop that and let's get back to this article.
This reported behavior is reprehensible. I am embarrassed, and I am sorry this happened to our students. We will take as much time as students need to listen and create open space for courageous conversations that lead to healing, action, and education. School officials said the reported actions are not and will not be tolerated at Woodbury High School or in South Washington County schools. The school said it has partnered with teachers on call to ensure that Williams is removed from the substitute list and will never be allowed to fill any vacancies in the school district. The agency said Williams had passed all background screenings before being placed on assignment. CNN affiliate CAN reported on Tuesday, school staff met with each of the English. On Tuesday, school staff met with each of the English classes that had the substitute teacher on Monday, and students will have additional opportunities to discuss the next week, according to the Tuesday letter. School and district officials said they are working on next steps for repairing the harm done to students and staff at Woodbury High School.
Give me Psalms 55 and 21. Yeah, that article, man, it just really really rubs me the wrong way that these people are able to just do whatever. And it's because of us. It's because we need to come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. Right. We need to gather together, O nation not desired. We need to stop being destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Psalms 55 and 21.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 55.
So they said that they're going to do all these things to make sure that we're safe in their school. Make sure we're safe in their schools. Make sure we're safe in their environments, right? But let's see.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
They're what?
Were smoother than butter.
The words of their mouth, they're smoother than butter. They're going to say smooth words to you. Continue reading.
But war was in his heart.
What's in his heart?
But war was in his heart.
Peace is in his heart.
But war was in his heart.
Love is in his heart.
But war was in his heart.
That's what's in his heart. What's in his heart is absolute war. Okay? Continue reading.
His words were softer than old.
Mm-hmm.
Yet were they drawn swords.
You see, your oppressor hates you. He hates you to the bone, to the core. He hates you so much. Why you love him so much. All right, let's continue reading. I think there's some more. Oh, never mind. No, we'll drop that. Let's get Proverbs 3 and 31. So I'm going to run through a couple things.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 31. Envy thou not no oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
The Bible says to envy not your oppressor, and don't choose none of his ways. Don't think that you have to be like him. Okay? Don't choose none of his ways. Don't choose his Christianity. Don't choose his thoughts. Don't choose his getting a lineup, being clean. Don't take on his suits and his ties. Okay? I seen a brother, who should be up in here, who's supposed to be coming to class. He loved his job so much, he out there dancing with them. Doing all these dances and all this shucking and jiving. Okay? Shucking and jiving, doing the jig. Okay? We don't do that in here. All right? Because we don't envy our oppressor. We don't choose none of his ways. We don't love our oppressor. We don't give a damn about him. Let me get Colossians 2 and 8.
This is the book of Colossians, chapter 2, verse 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy.
Hold on one second. All right, go ahead.
This is the book of Colossians, chapter 2, verse 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
It says, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit. You see, through that Christianity, we are spoiled. Do y'all know what spoiled means? Yeah, but what is that then? Like, yeah, if you're spoiled, you get everything you want. But what is if something's spoiled? It's rotten. It's bad. It's a bad thing. You know what I mean? All right. So don't let them spoil you. Don't let them have you destroyed through philosophy and vain deceit. That vain means nothing. You know what I mean? Their philosophies are nothing. Oh, they think they got all the high science in the world. Oh, they can tell you how far. They can tell you how far the Earth is from the moon, and how far the moon is, and the Earth is from the sun, and Mercury and Mars, and all. Who gives a damn? Can you follow the law, statutes, and commandments? Can you tell us how to do that? No. That's why you need the UPK. So we could tell you how to follow the law, statutes, and commandments. So we could tell you the things that matter. So we could tell you not to be spoiled through philosophy and vain deceit. Continue reading.
After the tradition of men.
After those traditions of men. You see, when you follow your oppressor, you are not following God. You are only following the traditions of men. Not the traditions of the men that are your forefathers. All right? Continue reading.
After the rudiments of the world and not after Christ.
Meaning you are serving the things of this world, and you are not serving Christ. You are not serving the King. And you are serving these things and following traditions of men because they teach you Christianity. They teach you that God loves everybody. They teach you that we're all the same. But we are not all the same. You know how we know we're not all the same? Go to Genesis 25 and 21. I'll just show you right there. We're not the same.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 21. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren. And the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived. You
see, so Rebekah, her womb was barren. Barren means your womb is closed up and you're not producing children. Okay, that is a barren womb. Also, Naquan, he don't have that problem. You know, he out here producing. Okay. Also, Naquan, he out here making beautiful family. Okay, that's what he's doing. All right, but Isaac and his rib Rebekah, they weren't producing children, so he entreated the Lord, you know, and then Rebekah conceived. Right. All right. Continue reading.
Verse 22. And the Lord's children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord.
So he says, so it says in the children struggle. So not only did she conceived twins, okay? And these twins in her womb, they were struggling together, okay? They were in there fighting, they're in there bouncing around, doing all kind of stuff. So she's asking if it be so, if this is ordained, then why am I thus? Why is this going on in me? Why is there a war in my belly if this is supposed to happen? And she went to inquire of the Lord. She went to get these questions answered. Okay, continue reading.
Verse 23. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb.
What?
2 nations are in thy womb.
No, they're brothers.
2 nations are in thy womb.
No, they're going to be family.
2 nations are in thy womb.
2 nations are in thy womb. Okay? 2 nations, Jacob and Esau, they are in this womb together. We've been fighting our oppressor since birth. Continue reading.
And 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
And 2 different people will be born out of your womb. Continue reading.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other, and the elder shall serve the younger.
And the one people, they shall be stronger than the other, and the elder, he's going to serve that younger. Okay? That is what's going to happen. Understand that. And we know that we are stronger. I mean, have you just seen it? You know they thought there would be a time, there was a time they thought you could never be a quarterback, right? That you didn't have the brain power to be a quarterback. You wasn't smart enough. There was a time they thought you couldn't play basketball. When they created basketball, they didn't think you could ever play it. They didn't think you had the brain power. Well, we are stronger and we are smarter, because without us, they'll definitely fall. They didn't have us oppressed to build their kingdom, they wouldn't have a kingdom. You can continue reading. We can.
Verse 24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb.
Continue.
Verse 25. And the first came out red, all over like a hairy garment.
And the first came out what?
Red, all over like a hairy garment.
That first one came out red, all over like a hairy garment. And they're called red because you can see the hue of their blood through their skin. Okay, that's that's why they red, and they are very hairy. Okay, I know a lot of people don't believe in Bigfoots and Sasquatches, but if you take a razor away from Russia for 9 days, you're going to see a bunch of hairy red beasts. Okay. You can continue reading.
And they called his name Esau. Verse 26.
And they called his name Esau. That is your oppressor, the Edomites. All right. Yeah, I got it right here. Yeah, red in the Zondervan, a blood-like or blood-red color. Okay. Right here, let me get down here. It says the color of human skin. Okay. There's another something I was looking for. I can't find that. I know there was something where it said evil. Regardless, continue reading.
Verse 26. And after that came his brother Isaac, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare him.
Continue reading.
Verse 27. The boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter.
The boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter. Esau is crafty at hunting. He's even crafty at hunting us. Oh, Esau, that you talking about hunting. He can go get a lion, a tiger, and a bear. Oh my. Esau is so cunning, he's willing to wake up at 2:30 a.m. in the morning, go in the woods, climb a tree, rub deer piss all over his body, sit in the tree for 6, 7, 8 hours just to unalive Bambi. It has no problem doing it. Okay? Their discipline on being a cunning hunter and unaliving, and you think you're gonna go to war with them.
Right.
We got trouble getting up to do nothing. And he gets up religiously, faithfully, early, and he's going to start prepping.
Right.
And he is going to go, and he's going to be so camouflaged. 8 deers walk by him until he gets the one he wants. They don't even see him. He's a cunning hunter. He hunts you. That's why Lamentations 4:18 says, they hunt our steps. Oh, he hunts. He hunts you. He hunts animals. He hunts everything on the earth. He is deadly. He is cunning. He is crafty. As the boys grew, Esau was a cunning hunter. Continue.
A man of the field.
A man of the field. They'll take a trip to Africa to try to go get the biggest, best lion to hang on their wall. They're in that field. They're in that field. They're in them shooting ranges. They're camping. They're doing all kind of stuff. By 3 years old, they can make a whole fire and cook their meat and survive out there. Okay? Continue reading.
And Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents. Verse 28. And Isaac loved.
See, we simple. We in the house. Continue reading.
And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison.
Yeah, Esau was out there hunting. Boy, Jacob wasn't out there hunting. Esau out there hunting. I'm talking about bringing back the meats. Isaac like, this is delicious. What are you using this? Season salt? What you put in there? That's Johnny's? Oh no, that's Morton's. So you put that Morton's in there. Okay? That's he's Isaac was tearing that up. Okay? All right, let me get all right, we got to get that Exodus 33:16. Because we got to separate from our enemy. This is what the Lord's been stressing and telling us since forever. Go ahead.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 33, verse 16. For wherein shall it be known here that I and thy people have found grace in thy sight?
Mm-hmm.
It is not in that thou goest with us, so shall we be separated. And I and thy people from all the people that are upon the face of the earth.
From some of the people that are on the face of the earth.
From all the people that are upon the face of the
earth. It says, so shall we be separated, I and thy people, from all the people on the face of the earth. We are supposed to be separated. Okay, continue reading.
Verse 17. And the Lord said unto Moses, I will do this thing also thou hast spoken, for thou hast found grace in my sight, and I know thee by name.
See, the Lord knows us by name. And that's why we're supposed to be separate. And that's why you spit in the Lord's face and you step on Christ's sacrifice when you give your love to all these other nations who don't love you. Let me get 2 Corinthians 6:17.
This is the book 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 17. Wherefore, come out from among them.
Do what?
Come out from among them.
See, we got to come from among them. Come out from among these other nations. Okay? Come out from among their ways, from their teachings, from their philosophies, from their traditions, from their holidays, from their ways. Continue.
Come out of Wakan, and be ye servants, saith the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you.
You see, we come out from all these unclean, uncircumcised Philistines. The Lord will receive us. Okay? We got to come from up out of these unclean things, though. Continue reading.
Come out of Wakan, verse 18, and will be a father unto you, and ye shall be my sons and daughters, saith the Lord Almighty.
This is why so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are separate from the Father. Because you worship in these Christian churches, and you got all people with you. You got every nation with you. How could he be a father to you and you be a son, and you have all your enemies sitting at the dinner table with you?
Right.
You're having a Thanksgiving dinner with them. You're taking your kids trick-or-treating with them. You're going to each other's houses for Christmas. You're going to church every Sunday to celebrate together. Give me Deuteronomy 32 and 7.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 7. Remember the days of old.
Do what?
Remember the days of old.
Remember the days of old. See, that's what we don't do here, because we are taught to forget everything that happens to us and remember everything that happens to everybody else. You have to remember the Holocaust. You have to remember Pearl Harbor. You have to remember 9/11. You have to remember all those things. But slavery, that's so long ago. That's the one thing that they say you should forget about it. Continue reading.
Consider the years of many generations.
Consider the years of many generations. Consider your forefathers. Consider all this time that's passed. Consider what happened to them people. You are going to go and make marriages with these other nations, knowing what happened to your people. It's because we don't remember the days of old, and we don't consider the years of many generations. Continue reading.
As thy father, and he will show thee thy elders, and they will tell thee.
Go ask somebody else. Go ask them how it was. Go ask somebody about how it was living through Jim Crow. Go ask somebody. Ask them elders so they could tell you. So they could tell you that they had water hoses sicked on them. So they could tell you that they had dogs sicked on them. So they could tell you that they couldn't ride the bus. They have to give up their seat. Just listen. Go tell them how they couldn't use the clean bathroom. They had to use the dirty, disgusting bathroom. That's why we just stayed in our communities, where we had clean bathrooms in our communities. And Martin Luther King, every time I have to use the bathroom at work, I just get so disgusted with Martin Luther King when I have to look at some Edomite pubic hair on my toilet. And I shouldn't even be in the same damn building as this person, having to use the same facilities as them. But they would purposely leave our facilities completely disgusting, leave our water fountains disgusting, and they would just clean theirs. Okay? So maybe we should ask those elders. They'll tell us. They'll tell us about all those German shepherds. That was the whole big thing when Muhammad Ali fought George Foreman, and George Foreman came with that German shepherds, and it was like German shepherds. This is what was used that was getting sick on blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. All right? So we have to remember the days of old. We have to consider the years of many generations. We have to ask our fathers and ask our elders so we can know what's going on, or else you won't remember a damn thing, and you'll think Billy's your friend because y'all get high together, y'all get drunk together, and y'all watch football every Sunday. and cook and barbecue. All right, continue reading.
Verse 8. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel.
So when the Lord divided the nations their inheritance, their portions, when he separated the sons of Adam, he said, you go here, you go here, you go here. He separated, he set bounds. Who knows what that means? That he set bounds. I'll take borders, but he set boundaries. He set boundaries of people according to the children of Israel. So he set boundaries around us because it's not safe for us to be around other nations. Okay? Read 39. Verse 9, Salakia.
Verse 9. For the Lord's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance.
You see that? Jacob is the lot. Jacob's name was changed to Israel because he was a strong man who in the dream fought for his blessing. He fought so hard that he had to get his thigh took out of place. Took out the joint just so he would stop. And he's like, I'm not stopping until I get my blessing. That's how we got to fight. That's how we have to be in this truth. We have to fight. All right? For Jacob's lot as his inheritance, yeah, we come from the seed of Jacob, but you're going to have to fight for your blessing. What are you willing to fight? What are you willing to give up? Are you willing to fight the lust of your flesh? And if you are, that's how you can try to gain the inheritance. Okay. Let's see what else I got on here. All right, y'all got any questions at all? All right. Yeah, I ain't gonna get into this, but let's get I got a lot in here. But I want to end on this so you know. Never trust your enemy, and this is how the Lord looks at you. Deuteronomy 7 and 6.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6.
For
thou art an holy people.
For thou art what?
For thou art an holy people.
So if thou art a holy people. Holy meaning separate, okay? Which stems from the word Kodash, all right? We were supposed to be a separate people, all right? Not like everybody else. Continue.
Unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you are a special people unto the Lord. That's what you have to understand. He wanted you to be a special people unto himself, a peculiar people unto himself. Continue reading. Above all people, not next to, not under like we are today, but we are supposed to be above all people on the face of the earth. Continue.
Like above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Verse 7. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because ye were more in number than any people. See,
we didn't get chose because we were just so deep. We're just some big nation. That's not why the Lord chose us. Continue.
For ye were the fewest of all people. Verse 8. But because the Lord loves you, and because he will keep the oath which he has sworn to your fathers.
That's why the Lord made an oath that he swore to your fathers. And the Lord's going to keep his oath. Continue reading.
Hath the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Verse 9.
No, I don't need verse 9, but I think I do want. Yeah, we got to get this. First Ezra 9 and 8. And this will be my last one. Because this is what we got to do. We have to separate. And I'll tell you, our people are always trying to tame some strange. Go ahead and read.
Out of This is the book of 1 Ezra, chapter 9, verse 8. And now by confessing, give glory unto the Lord God of our fathers. Verse 9. And do his will.
No, oh yeah, Slovakia. My bad. Go ahead. You got it.
And do his will.
Uh-huh.
And separate yourselves from the heathen of the land.
Do what?
Separate yourselves from the heathen of the land.
You got to separate yourself from the heathen of the land. These are orders. The Lord is telling us this for a reason. And what else?
And from the strange women.
So we don't want to hear none of that. The Edomite women is the new thick, the pogs, whatever the hell you call it. We don't want to hear none of that. Okay? Because at the end of the day, damn it, I ain't been sharing that the whole time. No sweat. All right, we gotta separate ourselves from the heathen and from strange women.
Right.
I can't believe I wasn't sharing that. But y'all got it. Y'all got the scriptures. All right, and that's it. We got the security announcements. Are they over there?
Yeah, they're right here.
You got it. Pass the class over to Trooper Kakamamad. Give him my hand.
We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which a brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Time, which is a commandment. The book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, and the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 through 10, means 10th in Hebrew, ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount would you like, upcoming holy convocation. On number 7.
You said what? Yeah, Feast of Tabernacles, the closing.
The Feast of Tabernacles, 15th day of the 7th month for eight days. Wednesday 16th and Tuesday 24th, October 2024. You will find this in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 34 through 44. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf. Now I will pass the class back to Precinct Officer Shimon of 500.
All right, with that, we're going to Amajium, which means stand. Give a courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, Madu Shabbat, Amajium, Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Brakatah. Yajabutah, we're going to sorrow, which means turn. Makes the sisters rise. Men of Israel, Madu Shabbat, Amajium, Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Brakatah, Yajabutah, dismiss.